on too. So next, I am still in the school systems. I don't just play a principal on YouTube. I'm actually in the systems. I'm at Liberty Elementary and Northern Elementary in Lexington, Kentucky. And then also, my accent is not the same as it is on videos. I don't know if you caught that. Did you catch that? Yeah. People are like, that's not really how you talk. I'm like, I have 2 master's degrees. Do you really think that's the way I talk? So this all started, people ask me all the time, did you mean for this to happen? And I'm like, I'm just a fat principal. I'm not a Kardashian. I have no clue. It's really a testament to the social media of how this has worked, because 3 years ago, I put up a video on what principals do on snow day, and it went viral, and it's just kind of gone from there. So it's been a huge blessing to be able to speak everywhere, and I've absolutely loved it. No matter, one of the things that's funny to me is no matter what I put on social media, people want to buy it. No matter how ridiculous it is, people want to buy it, which I love, but it just kind of amazes me. The second video that we put up was called Tucking Surprise T-shirts, and it was a T-shirt that had something up top, but then down below where the hemline was, it said something different that you could tuck in and only show the people that you wanted to show. So the first one said, my principal is great, and then at the hemline it said, making dumb decisions. So, beware with the principal when your friends are going to pull the tag out. The second one said, I love my teammates, and then down below it said, except for the crazy one, they keep having to move from year to year. So when we put those out there, people started asking about them. We just were a little bit overwhelmed at the beginning, thinking about how we would get those out there. So I changed it to a Tell It Like It Is pencil series that we could mail out easier. And it works the same way. It's a pencil. It says one thing on one side, and when you spin it, it says another, like Happy Birthday to you. And so this is something that we could actually mail out. So the first one is you're awesome at jamming the copier. The way they work is you give it to a kid and say, hey, I'm this Secret Santa, go get this to her, don't tell her. Why you got on stiletto heels, you made it at the Applebee's happy hour? Every school's got a stiletto wearing teacher. As educators, we all know there's only one day that we're supposed to dress up at school, and that's when the firemen visit, absolutely. That gets me every year. I'm like, why is it making prom? Oh, kindergarten got fireman here. It's like a zoo when your class walks down the hallway. Have you thought about being a Walmart streeter? You do some of that too. Thank you for always smiling, but sometimes it makes me want to throw a punch you. You have that teacher that's happy all the time. You're like, shut up, it's new curriculum, but it's new looks. Yay! It's so pretty. You all have tenure here. I'm tenured pencils. This is my tenured deadline pencil. I'm tenured. You'll get it when you get it. Say, I need those by Friday. Whatever. I'm tenured. Maybe next week. This is the original pencil for tenured teachers. My principal's great at making dumb decisions. But for the non-tenured teachers, I have the same thing. But I put this at the end so they can sharpen it off with the principal. I have some for parents. Yeah. Yes, your child's gifted at eating erasers. Thanks for being patient in the car ride late today. Oh wait, that wasn't you. Quit beeping your flipping horn. Love the car ride beepers. Your child was awake at dinner today, at lunch and recess. Your child worked so hard today at annoying me and everyone else. So would those be good gifts for your teacher friends? So, when I first started this, I used to think that lifelong learning had to do with going to a PD or reading a book. And I didn't have time to pee, much less go to a PD or read a book. So it used to bother me when we would interview applicants and they would throw out all the buzzwords because the colleges teach them to do that. And somebody would say, I'm a lifelong learner. And I would think, this person's going to want to do a book study. Next, we're not hiring them. It wasn't until this experience that I realized that lifelong learning has nothing to do with going to a PD or reading a book. Lifelong learning is something that we do every day as educators. We learn from everybody that we come in contact with. We learn from our parents, we learn from our students, and we learn from our colleagues. And so it changed my mindset as to what lifelong learning is. And please understand that when I reference educators today, I'm talking about bus drivers, cafeteria workers, paraprofessionals, librarians, counselors, systems that we work with the kids. And so when I first started that, but I realized that now that lifelong learning has nothing to do with that. And so that's what I want to be able to do today, is share some of the things that I've learned as a lifelong learner. And I have 2 goals today. My first goal is for you to walk walk out of here as an individual person with one or two things that can help you in your position. And hopefully it will be individual for everybody because the things I talk about may not apply to you, but hopefully something else will. So my goal is for you to walk out of here as an individual person, no matter what your position is, with 2 or 3 things that are going to help you this school year. And then my second goal is for you as a leader, because you are a leader. You may not have been recognized, you may not feel that way, but the bottom line is you're spending your own money on your own profession, so you are a leader. So my hope is that you're going to hear something that your school can use, and you can take it back to your school, because I put these all in small 4 and 5 minute segments so that you can take these back as a leader and show them to your school and hopefully encourage them too. So I want to start by talking about how this all started. So I was actually the assistant principal at Liberty Elementary School, which is where I'm at now, for a year, and I decided I wanted to be a principal, so I interviewed in the adjacent county, Bourbon County. It's a great place to visit. 80% of the United States bourbon is produced there. They have a bourbon field trip that you can go on. It's not a school bus or anything, but it is a field trip. And it was a wonderful situation for me. I was there for 7 years. It was an excellent opportunity to start my career. 3 elementary schools, 1 middle school, 1 high school. It was perfect. My best friends now, to this day as administrators, are still from that district because we were all dealing with the same families and we were very close. When the principal at Liberty retired, I decided to interview there. I got hired back in Fayette County at Liberty. Totally different situation. 36 elementary schools, 14 middle schools, and 10 high schools. So I was jumping into a lot different situation, but I knew that it was going to be a fantastic school year because I know what my giftedness is. And that's my first encouragement to you is, do you know what you're gifted at? See, we spend a lot of time building growth plans and what you're going to improve on, but we forget to think about what you're gifted at. Until you know what you're gifted at and what you're good at, you can't help the people around you, and you need to be the one that's helping people around you. So I knew that I was going to be stepping into a good situation. The school had a very negative climate culture, and I knew I'd be able to change it because that's my giftedness. I believe climate culture is most important. If you want happy teachers, happy test scores, high test scores, happy students, it's all about climate culture. And since the 7 years since I had left, they had dropped tremendously in state test scores. They were novice non-performing. They had been novice non-performing 4 years. If they had been novice non-performing again the year that I came in, the state was going to step in. I don't know what they were going to do, but they can't do their own job. So it was a very negative situation, and it's a very stressful situation to work in. But I knew I was going to be able to change it. It happened immediately. The very first day the teachers were there. I was there June and July. They came the first week of August. And the very first day they were there, about lunchtime, one of the teachers came in and she said, "Hey, can I borrow your keys?" And I said, "Well, sure. Why do you need my keys?" She said, "Well, the secretary's at lunch, and only you and the secretary have keys to the supply closet. And when we need something, we have to beg the secretary, and she gives us like a row of staples if we need something." And I was like, "A row of staples? I would lose that trying to put it in my pocket." So I got on the intercom and I said, "I want to let you guys know that we're not going to lock the supply closet this year. If you need something, just take it. And if you take the last of something, let the secretary know so she can replenish it so we never run out." And I audibly heard in the hallway, "Ah!" I thought, this is going to be easier than I thought it was going to be. And about an hour later, my 4th grade team came in and they were just kind of having a conversation. One of the teachers said, "Oh gosh, I forgot to ask you, can you go ahead and issue our copy codes? Because we want to make copies for the first week of school." And I said, "What's a copy code?" And she said, "Well, our district issues each teacher a copy code that we use on the copiers, and we're only allowed to make a certain amount of copies each month. And after the 3 weeks into a month, we just don't make copies the last week of school because we run out least of every month." And I said, "Well, are you wallpapering your house with copies? Why do we have copy codes on there?" So I got on the intercom and I said, "I want to let you guys know we're not going to have copy codes this year. If you want to make a copy, make it. Please be responsible." And I heard in the hallway, "Ah!" Everybody was thrilled except the PE teacher because she always had extra copies and she was like the copy code drug dealer. She would extort food at your lunch. She wants copies when you bring for lunch. They bring the So we were jumping along due to small changes in climate culture. We were having a fantastic school year until we got to the first week of April, and all of a sudden everything came to a screeching halt. Everybody was mad at each other. Everybody was arguing. I had more kids in my office the first week of April than I probably had almost all year round, and I had no clue what was going on until one of the teachers came in and she said, "I want to let you know that I got a half-day sub in the afternoon tomorrow. I'm going back to the doctors and upping my meds because state testing's next week." Aww. And I did just that. Shouldn't be laughing at that. She was serious. And I didn't realize until that time that I was at a high-stakes district in a high-stakes school, and I had not realized it. Because to me, professionally, state testing is the most ridiculous thing we've ever done. I have not focusing on it. We were just trucking along, and I didn't realize that they were going to be that stressed. And so I thought, gosh, what do I do here? We've been having such a great year. Well, I get to the building about 5 a.m. because you're not there. And so I was walking around my building that morning, and I thought, what do I do here? Everything's been going so great, and also everybody's in a bad mood. And our state does something very smart when it comes to state testing. We have to assess in a sterile environment. We have to take everything off the walls. We have to no content, cover all the clocks, cover everything, which I understand because we teach our kids to use their surroundings to learn, and then take your surroundings away. Kentucky goes above and beyond. We have to clear our hallways. We can have no student work displayed. We can have nothing on our bulletin boards, which also makes understanding because you would hate for a kid to go pee and learn fractions from a bulletin board in the hallway. It would be cheating on state testing, so I understand that. So our classroom teachers are used to this kind of pressure, but our specials area teachers always get more nervous about it because they're not under that kind of pressure. So as I was really stressed in that morning, I got a message from my art teacher with a picture of her bulletin board, and she said, I forgot about my bulletin board. I'm scared we're going to get in trouble for it. Do you need me to come in and change up my bulletin board? So this is the very first video. This is how this all started. It's a video I sent to my staff because of the stress we were under. It's not on social media, and I sent this out to them just to kind of break the ice a little bit. The video lags just a minute, so you miss like the first couple words, but none of it we won't distract from the video. So this is the very first video I sent out. I know you're not used to this because you're an art teacher and everything, but here at Liberty, we don't help students on state testing by leaving things on the wall, okay? So I've noticed that you've left some staples. And when students see staples, they're gonna think, like, I went to Staples to get a computer, and there weren't very many there, and I had to push my way through the door, and so that's an example of scarcity. So we're not gonna help our students on Common Core by leaving things up around the school. So this bulletin board and these staples, they need to come down immediately. So I sent that out to them that morning, and then immediately after I sent it out, I got a message from my art teacher, my science lab teacher. She said, oh my gosh, I forgot about my bulletin board. He said, stop by my bulletin board and see if I need to change it out. So the next day, this is the video that I sent out. Look how stupid I look walking, I'll show you. Peterson, I'm not sure what's going on here, but we have testing, and here in Fayette County, we don't allow pictures of kids up because they might use this for testing. They could say 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids. Not sure what you're trying to pull here, but it needs to be taken down.